Hey guys, my name is Marc Dressen. You're watching MDTV, and in this video I'm going to show you and teach you how to tie your Taekwondo belt properly. So, stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. So, let's get started straight away. Now before I'm going to take you through the step-by-step process of how to tie your belt. The best thing I always find is by observing just the whole process in one go, and then we'll break it down into steps. So I'm just going to tie the belt as I normally do and just observe how I do it. Voila, finished. Now, as this is now tied, let's have a look a bit closer of what's important. Most of you are seeking for the same length on both sides, so that's important. Now, some of you might have some stitching on your belt, and you want to make sure that you can read it properly. So when you tie your belt, you want to make sure, it's not the other way around, because that way it doesn't make any sense. And now the last, or two more things. One is the knot at the front. Maybe you can see it now a bit better. Should look properly like this, and there are many ways of how this could look quite funny. And the last thing is that your belt at the back is layered properly on top of each other. Now I'm going to show you how this looks like if you don't layer it properly. So in case you tie your belt this way, so you start with the belt in front of you, underneath your belly button, and you swing it around at the back, and then you come to the front, and you do the same knot, which I will explain in a second how to do it. What will happen is that at the back, you can see now the belt overlaps. Not properly. It has this funny little crossing at the back. And that's not what we're looking for, because that's not clean. That's not how a belt which is longer should be tied properly. Now, there are two types of belts, and most of the time I'm aware that fighters have a belt which is a bit shorter, and they basically start straight away from the back all the way to the front and just do the knot. And the knot is going to be the same if you have a longer belt. Now the one who do form competitions, pomse, hyong, whatever you do, have most of the time a longer belt and tie it 2 times round. So let's have a look how that works. Okay, so let's break it down. So what do I do first? I grab the belt with one hand, and it doesn't really matter if you take it left or right. It's just, which hand is more comfortable for you. So you grab the belt at the very top, and what I then do is I measure it down onto my elbow. And where it hits the elbow, that's where I grab the belt, let the top fall down, and now I measured one end of the belt. And this bit which I was just holding and measuring with my elbow, I just now press underneath my belly button. At the long end, I'm going to be throwing around my back, catch it at the front, and now important is you layer it over the other belt and hold it onto the side. Now you can also tighten it a little bit, and you should be able to stand like this without holding the belt on this side, right? And now comes the bit where you tie it again around, so you just swing it around one more time behind your back. And while you do that, you make sure that it layers over properly at the back. And you're back into the same position, and you can still hold it with one hand. It's not going to fall down. Next step is, with the other hand, you grab everything which is belt in front of you, and you pull it away from your belly button. The other end, which you were holding all the time now, you put underneath all of the belt you're holding away. And then you can just drop it down. Now you're in the position where, you basically, your belt is holding itself already. Now you've got the time where you can, pull your suit, your tobok, into the right position, and, you can sort of see that the belt is in the right position. And then we've got the option, if we take both ends and we pull them a bit tighter, we can tighten our belt, which is what we want. We want to make sure that it's holding our tobok in the right position. And also it should not be too tight. You should be able to breathe properly. So what's the next thing? Next thing is, after we tightened it, we grab the belt with both hands, and we just layer them on top of each other like that. The hand which is holding the bottom bit, we release. And now as you can see from the side, there's a little hole, right? So the hand which I just released, I grab through the hole, and the bit which is hanging over at the top, I grab and pull it through the hole. And now, all I do is I tighten the belt and let it hang down. And I'm finished. Okay, so see it from the side, you can see all the reading, it's in the right length position, and at the back, we've got it tied over properly. Now, that's basically it, right? Easy. But now let's have a look at some things which could go wrong. Just open it to this step one more time, where it's, hanging around. Just in case your belt, for whatever reason, is longer or shorter, this whole measuring process of using your elbow might not work. Because let's say I measured my elbow, and I come to the point where it's a bit like this, okay? So one end is really long and the other one is like that. That might be the case for some of you. Now let's do the whole process again. So I pull it apart, put the one on top of each other, grab through, grab at the belt and pull it. Now what do you see? It looks really funny. So it's, it hasn't got the right length in anything. So this is where you now need to experiment. How much of the belt at the beginning do you need to measure off that you always get the right length? But the good thing is, in this step where the belt is like this, we can sort of twist it around the body and always adjust. We can pull it around and adjust again. So this is where you that's the step where you can adjust your belt into the right position before putting it on top of each other, grabbing through the hole, and then making sure you pull it apart and it has the right length. That's it. Okay, so this is basically how I tie my belt. This is how I teach people to tie their belts, and I hope this is how you're going to be tying your belt in future. Now, if this really helped you, then just hit the like button, and if you want to stay in touch with me, down in the description box below you find my social media channels. Just check them out as well. And now don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because then you're going to get all the updates straight into your inbox. So I'll see you in the next video.